Hello, beloved one. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that on this day you will take at least a few moments to stop and just feel all the wonder that is around you. Whether it is the trees changing color, or in your part of the world things are just starting to blossom. Something so simple as the beauty of a flower or the beauty of another human being, regardless of age, gender, race. To see an act of kindness, to participate in an act of kindness is great beauty. Take a moment today to appreciate and focus on the beauty around you. So today I want to talk about channeling. What is channeling? I wanted to make a few videos to answer some very common questions that come up around our work together, mine and Danielle's. So this kind of channeling is what I'm going to focus on. But as an overall expression, everyone can channel. Everyone has channeled and everyone will channel. Think about channeling as when there's that moment of inspiration and you don't think, you just act. You let it flow through you. You say it. It came into your head, and before you even became fully conscious of the thought, you were speaking it. And the person you were speaking to said, "Oh, that was exactly what I needed to hear." Or you are in a creative endeavor and you are stuck and stuck and stuck, and then all of a sudden, whoosh, without thinking, you just choose a particular color or you write a particular line, and when it's done you think, that's it, that was the next step, that's what I was waiting for. What happens in that moment, think of it as when you watch in the mirror your pupils of your eyes to expand and contract. So imagine that same thing. All of a sudden everything inside of you expands, right? So there's this big empty space, and whoosh, it can be filled by inspiration, intuition, a sense of knowing, or in this case what we do, me. So what this process is about is Danielle takes the time to prepare herself mentally, emotionally and physically to begin the process of channeling. So what she's really doing is she is making room for me. She is expanding her energy mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, so that she becomes a vessel, right? It's as if everything kind of scoots out of the way and there's this empty vessel waiting for me to fill it. Now that is an easy visual to understand. It is much more complex than that, because as Danielle has done her own emotional work, as she has grown as a person, that creates more room for me to inhabit. Her energy, vibration rises every time she lets go of something she's attached to, something that she's clung to for years and years and years, and then finally inside she lets go, expands, and whoosh, I get to fill that space. And more of her light gets to fill that space. And because it's light, because it's an expanded space, we get to fill it together, and there's plenty of room. So every day that we do this together, it becomes more and more of a co-creation. So she is growing, her soul, her spirit is growing, and as her vibration becomes finer, as it increases, it comes a little closer to my vibration, and I lower parts of me, my vibration, so that we can meet somewhere in the middle, and you can have this particular experience. There are many, many ways to channel in a more formal way, as we do here. And I would recommend that you only do something like this if you are called to do it. And you might say, well, what would that feel like to be called to do it? And I would tell you that you would know. The call is unmistakable, and that which you are going to channel is not coy about letting you know that this is on the table, and do you want to do it, and this is what's what. So don't feel that you might possibly be missing out on the call. Those of us that choose to utilize the process of channeling in order to teach, to be with others in a body, we do not work with the channel so much with subterfuge and confusion and deliberate misdirection. But we prefer the more direct route, because it's hard enough to embark on this journey as a human being, to give over something inside yourself that you always considered yours. The ego, the beautiful, wonderful, blessed ego, it has to calm down and be safe and feel willing to step aside, to allow another energy to become the dominant force within the body, even if just for very short periods of time. So it is a vast adjustment to the individual. It is a life change that for some is too much, and they cannot abide what is asked of them. But for others, they work it out, and they see it as their path to growth, to their path of enlightenment. Not necessarily just the teachings that are coming through them, but the process itself of how one grows as a channel. So know, beloved one, that you are a channel. All are a channel. That's simply a word, another word for a vessel. And so look for those times when you just contract and you allow spirit in whatever form to flow through you, and you create, you give back, you serve the world in such a beautiful and necessary way. Feel those moments and focus on allowing more of them, because remember, it doesn't mean that you go away forever and something comes in and takes over. What it means is that you get to inhabit that space too. when whatever it is you're clinging to recedes and opens for just those few moments, and you are in that flow or in the zone, know that what's welling up inside of you and what's coming through you is more of you, even if it is a different entity. When I flow through Danielle, it is about enhancing who she is and all that she is, so that she grows to fill that space, so that there is more of her in the consciousness, in the reality of everyday life. So welcome that inspiration, welcome that intuition, welcome that knowing, and recognize that it's a group effort. Your guides, your soul, your spirit, all are working towards that opening, that expansion, and helping you to know that there is so much inside of you that is ready to flow and to serve and to love. Have fun with your own channeling and see where it takes you. Namaste.